Okay, good evening to all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, instead of just making other formalities, we directly start with our session. So, I welcome all to this 6-day online FDB on Kickstart Our Research. Okay, so basically, this particular FDP is basically meant for starting the research. That is how we can able to start the particular research and what are the particular contents which we can able to learn and where to start, how to start, and which are the different tools we can able to just use inside this particular research. Okay. So basically, this particular workshop basically mean for the what is meant by research, then what are the different domains inside the computer science and engineering field, then which are the different effective strategies for searching or accessing the different research papers, then how to read the different research papers and how to find the research gaps from that research papers, and after finding the particular gaps we can able to define the specific our we can call it as a research proposal for PhD scholar, or we can call it as a synopsis for the MTech student. So how we can able to fill the particular contents, how we can able to write the introduction, how we can able to write the literature survey, then how we can able to find the need of research, motivation sections, along with the limitations or whatever the research gaps we can able to identify, and from that research gap how to design the problem statement, and based on the problem statement we need to write the objectives. So objectives are very much crucial inside the research. So we need to write that particular objectives, and the particular objectives how we can able to design the system. So either we can call it as a system architecture, or we can call it as a system framework or framework for the particular task. Okay, and from that we can able to divide that framework into the multiple modules, and based on the each objective we can able to design the modules, and based on that we can able to design the what are the different requirements related to the hardware and related to the software, and after that we can able to just plan or just make the plan how we can able to carry out the research, and after that we can able to see the different reference types which we can able to write inside the particular synopsis, and for writing such synopsis how to use the AI tools which will help to get or to write the particular contents inside the synopsis very easy. Okay, also we can see some softwares which can be able to just design the system architecture of your research work, or we can able to take the different components, we can able to take the different icons, and we can able to design the architecture which can be able to represent your research work. Okay. So let's start with this particular work. So myself K.T. Mani, so working as assistant professor in D.Y. Patil College of Engineering and Technology for PhD department. So basically we can just name this particular workshop, that is from topic finalization to synopsis crafting. Okay, so we can just see the basics related from topic finalization up to the synopsis making. So from this particular 6 day, every day we can just see the different details related to the workshop, And after getting the particular details, we can able to just find how we can just put that particular details to form the synopsis, and how we can able to write each and every section within the synopsis. So, uh, so this is not the one-way workshop. So whenever our session is end, within the second day, you have to just think on that particular contents, work accordingly, so that you can able to write the synopsis according to the contents which are covered. So what is ultimate output of this particular workshop? The workshop, after this particular workshop, anybody can able to write the synopsis and from your topic finalization to the domain. So here the ultimate goal is to find the research domain. Second, from that research domain, you can just find the topic. From that topic, we can able to design each and every sections. From each section, we can able to write the contents within that each section. And after end of this particular workshop, that is on the Saturday, you can able to finalize your synopsis, that is rough draft, whatever required for your synopsis or research proposal. So this is the ultimate goal of this particular workshop. That's why we are taking this particular workshop in the online mode after 6 p.m. because everybody is free at that particular time. So we are also working anywhere and we are free from that particular slot. So that's why I have kept this particular time from 6 to 8 p.m. so that everybody can pay attention. Everybody can work for the second day, whatever the daily period we have. And after that, we can get the new content at the evening slot. So these are the particular contents for the 6 days which can be covered throughout our workshop. Okay, so basically our first day includes the only foundation of the research. That is, it includes what are the research, how we can able to perform the research, then exploring the different research domains related to the CSE. Then we can able to just perform how to search the particular topic, and from that topic finalization to the synopsis making, we are just dealing with the different aspects related to your, either you can just call it as a synopsis or you can call it as a research proposal. Okay, so both things are same, but whatever the level related to the MTech work and whatever the level related to the research scholar, that differs. Okay, so whenever that particular section comes, I will just differentiate what are the things which are expected in the MTech and what are the things which are expected in the PhD. So let's start with our first day, that is foundation of research and the different domains related to the CSE. So here the research is a word which is coming from the French. So in French, we call it as a research. So the meaning of that particular word is to search again. So whatever the things which are available for us, from that same thing, we can able to search the new contents or new knowledge by investigation inside that particular content again and again. So that's why it is called as research. So whatever the contents which we can just use in our daily life, some contents might find the interesting thing. So in that particular case, we can able to extend that particular things. We can able to formulate that things and we can work towards that particular things, which can becomes under the research. So research is not a new thing. Research we can able to apply on the present things to find the specific new things again and again. So this is the basic definition related to the research. So it signifies the systematic scientific search of knowledge about the particular topic or problem. So here we can able to search the particular contents and we can able to work systematically on the specific topic or a specific problem which we can able to identify in the daily life. So for example, we can just consider the problem related to the some scheduling, or we can just consider the problem related to the some traffic. So by analyzing the particular contents, we can able to find the specific solutions. So finding from identifying the problem up to finding the solution, whole this particular process is nothing but the research. So again, research is a systematic, organized, and objective process of finding the answers. So whatever the questions we have, we are going to find the particular answers for that problem with the help of systematic, organized, and objective process. So here inside the research, the objective is most important. So each and everything or each and everybody can just able to work on the objectives so that we can able to find the answers related to the objective. So here again, the meaning of the research is means we can able to again do the task, and search means we can able to find the particular contents again and again. So this is the particular meaning for the research. So to seek the particular things again and again to generate the new knowledge is nothing but the research. So these are the objectives related to the research. So inside the research, first objective for any research is to discover the new facts from the existing facts. Okay, so for example, if we are having the existing data, then from that same data, we can search the new things. Okay, so for example, if you consider the example related to the machine learning. So machine learning that can be just applied with the help of different algorithms or techniques. We can able to train the data. So while training the data, same data, we can able to apply the different algorithms so that we can able to find the different patterns from the data again and again. So this is called as research. Again, to analyze the relationship between variables and phenomena. So whatever the relationship between the two features, or suppose I am just taking the considering the data set of 10 parameters or 10 features. So from that particular features, I can able to rectify or analyze the relationship between the two features. So we can able to find the relationship between or the pattern being between the two variables, so that we can able to continuously analyze the research relationship between that particular variables and again find the something productive from that particular research. Again, third one, that is to develop or refine the theories, tools or methods. Okay, so research basically having the different categories. So either you can just perform the theoretical research or analytical research, or there are the again many innovative research where we can able to design the tools. For example, suppose initially whenever there is no online meeting tools, so in that particular case, the tool making is again one sort of research. Again, whenever we are having the button phones, so in that particular case, the button phones that are research and we are getting the phones based on the sensor. Again, initially whenever the sensor phones are coming, at that time whatever the touch sensitivity of that sensors are not good. So again the research get performed. Again it will just evolve the better sensors which can identify your touch, and it will just respond quickly again and again. So these are the particular developments related to the research. Okay, so again we can able to find the solutions to the scientific, social or industrial problems. So through the research we can able to find any specific solution to the any scientific problem or any problem related to the society. So there may be a problem related to the waste, or there may be a problem related to the pollution. So you can able to find the solution to that particular problem by using the research. Again, in the industry there are the different n number of problems are there. So you can able to find the solution to that problem, so that we can able to automate that particular industrial task. Okay, so nowadays what happened with the help of the AI, the mechanical industry trying to automate their own processes with the help of this particular AI. So they are combining the mechanical task along with the software task. So they are switching from the hardware to software interfacing, so that whatever the manpower which are required to perform that task, same task it will perform by the computer automatically. So it will just save the cost, it will save the time, it will just increase the accuracy related to that particular products and so on. So all that benefits we can able to get with the help of this particular research objective. The next one, that is to aid the decision making and policy formulation. So whenever anybody want to perform the any sort of decision, then they are just analyzing the impact of that particular decision. So for example, suppose if government want to take the decision, so on which basis they are going to take the decision? Based on the analysis. So for making the analysis, they required to make the surveys, and based on that survey, they can find whether that particular decision is better or not. So for example, simple example is the GST 2.0. So government have just decreased the slots for many products. So 18% GST that can be reduced to the 5%, some 5% that can be reduced to the 0%, and so on. So before taking such decisions, they are taking the surveys. They are analyzing what are the impacts on the economy, and after that they are making the decisions. Or also while making the policy formulation. So for example, suppose government want to introduce one particular scheme related to the industry or related to your startup. So what they are doing, they are just surveying the particular market, and based on the market survey, they are identify the facts where anybody or any youth can stuck the particular startup. So they are just ease that particular contents inside the new policy. So all that particular policy decisions or decision making, that can be again a part of research. So unless and until they are making the research, they are not introducing any sort of policies. Again, to contribute to the general knowledge and understanding of the world. Again, inside the research, we are working on the singles domain with single bit. So within that particular single domain, we are just finding the minute details related to the same problem. So for example, simple example is that whenever I am just considering the machine learning. So inside the machine learning, what happened? We can able to find the contents related to the particular training or related to the problem. Okay, so machine learning is a vast domain. So within that particular domain, we can just search the part of the contents. And within that particular part of content, we can able to just find the specific problem. So for example, there can be a problem related to the image identification, or there may be a problem related to the particular size of image. So how we can able to solve that particular problem? Based on the particular problem, we can able to identify the different techniques. From different techniques, we can able to identify the suitable technique. So suitable means what? In what sense it makes this suitability? Suitable means what is the requirement of the input, how it can be performed, and what will be the output of that particular method. So by just analyzing that particular content, we can get to know that if this particular problem is happen, this might be a solution. So such objectives we can able to keep in front of our research. Then these are the particular characteristics of the research. So whenever we required to perform the research, then we need a skills to carry out the investigation. So first of all, whenever we want to do any sort of research in any domain, so it may be CSC, it may be maths, it may be any other domain. So in that particular case, we need some skill set in our own, so that we can able to proceed with that particular skill sets to investigation for something which is necessary. And based on that particular skill set, we can able to search the related literature, and by analyzing the number of research papers, we can able to understand and analyze the data gathered. So whatever the data we just collected, we can able to just analyze that particular data, and we can able to just find something fruitful from that particular data. Again, research is based on the observable experience or empirical evidences. So observable experience means what? Whenever we are going from one place to another place, and in the traveling, we might observe one particular problem. So based on that particular problem, our mind is thinking that these might be the possible solutions related to that problem. So how we can able to find the exact solution? We can able to search the contents related to that problem. And again, we can able to come on the conclusion that these are the particular possible solutions through which we can able to solve that problem. So again, research is based on the observable experiences Again, whenever we are carried out the research, then this research demands the accurate observations and descriptions. So, for example, suppose I'm just observing one particular problem, but I'm not able to recognize that problem. So in that particular case, the accurate observation is not included inside the research. So based on the false observation, we cannot able to predict the solution to that problem. So again, here, whatever the observations we made, that must be accurate so that we can able to find the solution for that particular problems. Again, research involves gathering the new data from the primary sources or using existing data for new purposes. So gathering the new data means, suppose I want to perform the research related to the social media. So through the social media, through different APIs, through the web scraping, I can able to extract the data. I can gather the particular data and I can able to find the new data sets from this particular resources, and I can just test that particular data set for the new methods or new contents or new frameworks and so on. Or you can able to just use the existing data. For example, suppose I want to perform the research on the MRI images. So in that particular case, the data sets are already available. So our task is just to test the particular whatever the new method we have to just test on the existing data. So both things are possible. Either you can collect the new data and just release as an open source, or you can just take the existing data from the public archive and you can just do the research on that data. Again, research is a activity which is carried out with the carefully designed procedures. So while performing or while doing the research design, we have to take care that whatever our objectives are and whatever our design we have created, so whether that particular things are matched with each other or not. So if our design is wrong, we are not able to proceed with the research. So these are the particular characteristics which can be taken consider before starting our research. So whenever we consider the different types of the research, then we have total 3 types of the research. First one, that is purpose based research, then second method based research, and third nature. So purpose based research means was here again inside the purpose we can have the 2 subparts, that is basic research and applied research. So for example, suppose our purpose is to find the solution related to the specific problem, then either we can go through the theoretical part or we can able to just focus on solutions or developing the new things on that particular problem. So basic research is related to the theoretical knowledge. So its aim is to expand the theoretical contents. It is not concerned directly with the practical application. Okay, so for example, suppose if you consider one particular study related to the effect of sleep on the memory of the youth, or effect of the social media on the youth. So such study requires the theoretical contents. So we can able to gather the data, we can able to make the thought process on that data, and we can just conclude or we can just make the theoretical conclusion that these are the particular factors through which we can able to analyze these particular problems, and these are the particular possible solutions. So this is called as basic or pure research. Again, applied research is nothing but it will focus on solving the specific real world problems. So whatever the problems are there, we can able to solve that particular problems by applying the research on that problem. So here we can able to just apply the solution practical oriented approach on that problem. So for example, suppose I want to just develop a new medicine. So here n number of trial and errors are there, and from that errors we can able to find the formula for new research or new medicine. Or suppose I want to find one particular innovative teaching methodology. So in that particular case, n number of trials are there, and based on that trials, we can able to find which is the most suitable method inside that research. Again, second one, that is method based on the method based research. So inside that there are the two types. One is the quantitative, and second one that is qualitative. So quantitative means what? Here it will just based on the numerical data and statistical analysis. So whatever the research which are applied on the numerical data, or we can just perform the different statistical operations that are coming under the quantitative research. So it includes the different surveys, different experiments, structured observations, and so on. Again, the another type related to the method based research is the qualitative research. So qualitative research is basically focuses on understanding the human behavior, experience, and meanings from the particular contents. So for example, if we want to just find the specific problem related to that organization, then we can able to interact with the uh, different stakeholders. We can get interview with that particular stakeholders. We can able to just discuss with them and analyze or find the exact solution to the problem. Or we can able to just identify the different case studies, and we can able to work on that, so that we can able to just reach to the some conclude solution to that research. So such research is called as qualitative research. So this is the second, that is method based research. This third research is the based on nature of the research. So here there are the total 5 types of the different research that can be included under the nature based research. So first one, that is descriptive research. So descriptive research means what? We can able to just perform the different surveys. We can able to just spend the n number of hours on the surveys, and from that particular surveys we can able to find something fruitful. So it is come under the descriptive research. So for example, suppose I am just taking the simple example, that is we can able to conduct the survey for finding how many hours one college student can spend on the social media daily. So from that particular analysis, we can able to find how much hours they are engaging. Again, what are the impact with the help of that particular busy schedule, how they are just getting the time from that particular schedule, and what are the specific hours on which each and everybody on the social media. So through that particular survey, any company can just launch the product, can just brand their products within that specific hours only. So such findings we can able to call through the descriptive research. Then second one, that is analytical research. So analytical research includes the critical evaluation and interpretation of the existing data. And from that data, we can able to find the new conclusion. So for example, suppose the simple and best example is the share market. So previous, whatever the share data related to the share up and down, which is available on the NSE and BSE websites. So what is the task of the particular shareholder? They have to analyze that particular data and find the patterns from that data, so that we can able to analyze that is after 1 month the share can be goes up, or within the March and April period the share price go up. So such patterns we can able to find by analyzing the particular data which is already existing. So this is called as analytical research. Again, exploratory research means what? Here we know the little bit or no prior knowledge related to the research, and we are able to just find, or we are able to develop the specific problem as well as the solution to that particular contents. So this is called as exploratory research. That is the research where no prior information or very little information is available. So that first task, we have to get the insights from that particular problem, and we have to just develop the some solutions, so that it will might plot further direction to the research. So for example, the simple example is that whenever the 5G is coming, so in that particular case, the protocols, what is the communication, how much error handling capacity we required, how much speed we can able to achieve, we don't know. So in that particular case, we can able to design the protocols on the simulations. So with the help of trial and error, we can able to find the different aspects related to that 5G 5G protocols as well as the 5G speed and so on. And we can able to adjust some parameters, so that we can able to formulate some sort of the algorithms which can be implemented on the physical resources once the simulation get tested. So this is called as exploratory research. Then another type, that is explanatory research. So explanatory means what? Here it aims to explain the causes and reasons behind the phenomena. So we can able to focus on the identifying the cause and effect between the different relationships. So what are the causes and what is the effect of that particular cause in the our research. So for example, suppose if one particular student is not able to complete his or her sleep because of the less sleep timing. So what are the impact of that fact on their academic performance? So such type of research is called as explanatory research. So we can able to find the cause and what are the effect of that cause on our whatever the particular measure we have. So what is the effect of that particular cause, and what is the effect on that cause to the particular content. So this is nothing but the explanatory research. And last one, that is experimental research. So experimental research involves manipulating one or more variables under controlled conditions to determine their effect on other variables. So for example, uh, the simple example is the coronavirus. So in the coronavirus, nobody know what is the solution or what is the medicine for that problem. So everybody is trying to experiment on the human. And based on the experiment, they can find that these are the 5 tablets which can be just used to cure the whatever the infections inside the lungs, whatever the infections inside the throat, then control the fever and so on. So they are depending on that. In the first phase of the COVID, they are just having the 10 to 12 different medicines. Whenever they found that these particular medicines are not required, in the second phase, they required only 2 to 3 medicines. So such research is nothing but the experimental research. That is based on the our experiment, we can able to find the new findings and we can able to do the research. So whenever we want to just perform the research, then these are the different steps which is also called as research process. So first process is to identify the problem. So after identifying the problem, we can able to formulate the literature, or we can able to search the literature related to that problem. And from that literature, we can able to find what is the scope of that problem, how we can able to find the solution to that problem. So through that particular research literature, we can able to create the hypothesis. So hypothesis means solution to that problem. And based on that solution, we can able to design our research. So it may be in the form of system architecture, it may be in the form of system framework, or it may be in the form of flow research and so on. So you can formulate in any sort, and after that we can perform the different stages up to the report writing. So report writing is the last stage related to the research. So inside the identification of the problem, we can able to define what is the exact problem or exact question we can able to find or we can able to study. So once we can able to find the specific problem, so that problem must be a specific, researchable and relevant. So basically whenever we want to do the research, the problem must be a relevant. So if it is not relevant, we are wasting our efforts. So first of all, we just check whether the problem is specific, researchable and relevant so that we can go further. So after finding the problem, so for example, suppose I'm just identifying the problem related to the load balancing over the cloud environment. So this is my problem. So based on this particular problem, I can able to review the different literature related to that problem. And through that literature, so literature means what? I can able to search the different papers. I can able to just visit different websites. I can able to search different books, different articles, and I can able to find the different gaps related to that problem, and I can able to find the different patterns related to that problem. So these particular gaps which can be helpful to refine your research question. So initially our research question is, for example, load balancing over the cloud environment. But whenever we are able to identify the particular problems, then we can able to just refine the problems such that load balancing over the heterogeneous network over the cloud, or heterogeneous platform over the cloud, or heterogeneous different virtual machines over the cloud. So such redefined in the research questions we can able to perform by using the literature. The next one, that is, we can able to find the hypothesis or research questions. So hypothesis is nothing but the we can able to find the different relationship between the variables, and through that relationship we can able to predict some sort of the structure, so that if these are the particular problems, this might be a solution. So such hypothesis we can able to find. Again, whenever we are formulating the hypothesis, then we need to write the core part of the research. That is our research design. So inside the research design, we have to just define the different methods, different tools, different data, or different procedures to perform that research. And from that, we can able to divide all these things into the number of modules. And we can able to just predict what are the path of the research, and how we or which tools and procedures that can be just able to apply on that design problem, so that we can able to find the final solution. Then after designing the particular part, we need to gather the data. So what type of the data we need to gather? The data related to that specific operation. So for example, suppose in research design, I want to find the different techniques which are required for the pre-processing. So I need to search different surveys, different research papers, different experiments, so that I can able to find which method which is appropriate for my problem, or for my design, and I can able to identify it, and I can able to use it in my research. So for that purpose, we need to gather the data related to the specific method. Then we can able to perform the data analysis and interpretation. So once we can able to get the method, we can just test that particular methods, and we can able to analyze the different results which are getting from that methods. So we can able to apply the different formulas, different tools to understand particular data. So either it may be quantitative or qualitative, and based on that we can able to just interpret that particular whole data into the visualized format. So with the help of the graphs or different Power BI tools, we can able to interpret that results, so that we can able to find the meaningful contents from that interpretation. After performing the interpretation, we can able to find the concluding remark. So we can able to find, we can able to relate the findings with our research problem or research questions, and we can able to convince that these are the particular research questions and these are the findings which fulfill these research questions. And we can able to discuss which are the advantages, which are the disadvantages, which are the recommendations which can be performed through the research, and so on. And once these all things are done, we can able to write the report related to the research systematically, so that we can able to go systematically, which can be used as a reference by the others. So again, report writing is also major part inside the research, so that it will give the path to the another researcher, which can be just study further and can continue the research further to the new height. So these are the typical steps which can be carried out inside any research in any stream. So you might think that how to search the particular problem or how to search the research problems. So these are the some sources through which we can able to find different problems. So such problems we can able to catch, and we can able to perform the systematic research process on that problem, so that we can able to get the solutions and findings related to that problems. So it may be a personal experiences or observations. So whenever you are just going anywhere from one location to another location while traveling, or while just visiting to the different places, you might observe the things, and from that particular things you can identify the some problems, and you can able to work on that problem. Second, we can able to search the different theories, different models, identify the different gaps or different lacunas in that model, and we can able to write the solutions to the lacunas. Third, with the help of the current social or organizational issues, we can able to find the solutions or problems. For example, suppose currently with the help of AI, the security of the information is a major concern, or whatever the use of the personal information without the permission is a major issue. So again, we can able to find the some deep fake contents which can not be differentiated whether it is a real content or whether it is a AI generated content. So such issues we can able to address. Or suppose if you are just watching the news, so on the WhatsApp also, on the social media also, there are the lot of posts which can be used to spread the fake news. So again, fake news having the n number of categories, which are again coming under the misinformation. So that misinformation related to the text, related to the images, related to the videos, related to the audios. So a number of things which can be able to going on in day-to-day life. Again, through the social media, we can able to analyze the different issues. For example, through the social media, we can able to find what are the current trends. If one new problems are occurred, what are the possible solutions? Okay, so these particular things we can able to analyze through that particular social media. So again, it is a one media to find the research problems. Again, we can able to have the technological and scientific developments. So technological and scientific development means what? Suppose our we want to just able to modify the some GUI related to our mobile phone, which can ease our task. Or suppose I want to just extend the size of that particular mobile phone with reduction in the weight. Again, it is a technological or scientific development. Or suppose I want to just build the drone which can carry out the more weight, or which can carry out the humans, and so on. So a number of things we can able to develop through the observations, through the technological things, and so on. Also, we can able to find the research problem through the review of literature or expert consultation. So for example, suppose if we have the particular experts, or suppose we are interacting with the researchers through the conferences, through the different hackathons, and we can able to just find the specific solution to the specific problems. So we can able to get the hint with the expert consultations, or we can able to review the different literature papers. We can able to find the some clues, and we can able to carry out such problems over the research. So these are the some key sources through which we can able to find the research problems. So what is the important related to the research? So basically, whenever we are just making the evolution in the human history, so that evolution is basically a test bed for the research. So depending on the requirement, the new things are get evolved, the new things are again get enhanced, again by just analyzing the things, performing the things in better way. So initially, whenever we are having the car, so that particular car that can be get modified year by year. So initially they are, for example, simple example is the initially we are having the handle for just scrolling the mirrors, or just scrolling the glasses of our window of the car. But nowadays we are having the button, so it will, whenever we push the button, it will automatically control each and every window glass automatically. So such evaluations we can able to do with the help of the research. So research is basically mean for expanding the human knowledge, understanding the things in better way. Again, with the help of the research, we can able to make the innovations, technological advancements. So again, the simplest example of the innovation and technological advance is the mobile phone. So up to 2007, up to 2010, we are using the button phones, and only Samsung having that particular touch phones with high end. But whenever the Android operating system is evolved, so the many companies that form one particular research consortium, which is responsible to just design and develop the Android application, Android operating system. So with the help of that consortium, it makes the innovation, and based on that innovations, we are just shifting from button phone to the sensor phone. So now we can just apply our fingerprint, and we can able to just search anything whichever we want. So instead of typing with the button, we are directly typing with our whatever the finger. So this is the innovation. So again, due to the research only, it might be happen. Next one, again, it can be help in evidence-based decision making. So with the help of the research, we can able to just find the additional helper to make the decisions. So for example, suppose a simple decision. Suppose we are just going inside the DMart. So in the DMart, whenever any festival is coming, the required items related to that festival, they are just putting in the front, which are not buy by the customer frequently. So by just look and feel that particular design or just ambience of that particular items, we can tempted to purchase that items. Again, same thing is happen, that is some chocolates or biscuits that can be just kept in the nearby region of your billing counter. So whenever any particular person makes the billing, at that time they can able to just watch that particular chocolates or any other things, and they can able to buy that particular products. Again, this is called as decision making. So again, research is important for the policy formulation and planning. So whatever the startup policies or whatever the policies related to the MSME, or whatever the policies related to the any other, so that particular things we can able to formulate through this research. Again, we can able to solve the different social, educational or industrial problems through the help of research. Again, any particular critical thinking or analytical skills inside the individual person are developed through the research only. So unless and until we are working on that problem, we are not able to analyze the depth of that problem. And once we are not able to understand the depths, we are not able to think related to the solution of that problem. So analytical skills are developed whenever we are getting understanding of that problem. And once analytical skills are developed, based on the understanding, we can able to think the solution for that problem. So for example, suppose if you are working on any particular specific algorithm, and that algorithm is currently in your mind, but not able to finalize that. And if you think continuously for one day, at the end of the day, you definitely come with one solution which might solve that problem. Or you might come with the number of steps which can be useful to solve that problem. So such thinking must be developed through only the research. So these are the particular importance related to the research in any domain. So whenever we are doing the research, so basically nowadays the research is having some ethical issues. So first ethical issue is that plagiarism. So plagiarism is nothing but we can able to copy the same work from the others without acknowledgement to that work. or without making the citations to that work. So this is called as plagiarism. So again, nowadays, one more plagiarism which is introduced, that is AI-based plagiarism. So previously, we are just searching the similarity in between the contents. So whatever the lines we are writing and whatever the lines which are already available in the others work, whenever we are copy pasting that line, same lines to our work, it will be the similarity plagiarism. But nowadays, one more plagiarism is coming, that is AI-based plagiarism. So suppose if you are just getting the content from any AI platform, so it may be ChatGPT, it may be Gemini, it may be other platforms which are available. So whenever you are taking the contents as it is from that platforms, it will detect the AI plagiarism. So what is the logic behind the AI detection? It will just find the pattern of sentence designing, and based on that pattern, the particular system or particular plagiarism software able to understand whether it is written by the particular person by their own, or whether they are just using the tools and they are copy pasting the particular contents as it is. So this is the issue related to the plagiarism. So whenever you are taking the particular contents from the other researchers or other research papers, then our basic need to cite that particular research. So while citing means what? You are just giving the acknowledgement to their work that whatever the work we are using, it will be just considered from this research. So this is one ethical aspect related to the research. Again, data fabrication. So data fabrication means what? Whatever the contents we have. So without designing the whole system, we might take the fake data and we can able to just manipulate the result and showing our results are better results. So this is called as data fabrication. Okay, so we can able to modify the input, and based on the modified input, we can able to just show that these are the very good results. So this is called as data fabrication. And data falsification means what? We can able to manipulate on the data to achieve the desired result. So for example, suppose I want to achieve the 90% accuracy for any particular algorithm. So in that particular case, I can just manipulate the values which are used inside the data sets. Or I can just directly, instead of just training, I can able to directly pass the particular data to the testing with some manipulations. So this is called as data falsification. Again, lack of consents. So consent means what? Whenever we are using their own data, then in that particular case, without informing them, we can able to just use their research. Okay, so whenever this consent is required, whenever we are just transferring our research to the publisher. So for example, suppose I want to publish one paper. So in that particular case, first I need to transfer my rights to the publisher, so that publisher is a also owner to redistribute the work over the multiple researchers. So anybody can purchase that particular publisher's journal or chapters and they can just use it, they can refer it, they can cite it, and they can just again research within that particular domain. So if the consent is not given, then it is very dangerous to use their whatever the diagrams or whatever the methods without consulting them. So nowadays, whenever you are just publishing any particular paper, so in that particular case, the publisher want to transfer the copyrights. So if you are using the images from any other journal, so in that particular case, you have to take the permissions from that user author to use that images in your research work. So such no objection certificates we have to just generate with requesting to the particular user, and we can able to just get the permissions from that user. Again, if I want to just maintain the confidentiality, so for example, suppose we can able to just share the data in many places. For example, in mobile phone showrooms, we can just give the mobile number, email ID, name, or birth date, or in hospital we can give our data related to the health, related to the blood group, and so on. So this is our personal information. And if we share this particular information without the owner's consent, so this is called as breach of confidentiality. That is, without their consent, we are just sharing the personal information. So previously, such incidents that can be happen whenever the true callers data get leaked, or whenever the Twitter account users, Twitter's users data get leaked over the internet, or for example, whenever the credit card information related to the specific bank customers that can be leaked over the internet. So such breach of confidentiality we can able to handle through the ethical aspects related to the research. So while performing the research, first of all, we need to acknowledge the researcher from which we can just get the work by citing them. Second, we have to perform the research with valid data. So whatever the results, which might be a good result, which might be a bad result, but we have to just avoid the fabrication and falsification of the data. Again, whenever we are using any particular content, then we have to just understand the confidentiality and consent of that specific owner of the data. So these are the ethical issues which we can able to consider inside the research. So this is the introductory part related to the research. So here I'm just putting the some domains related to the CSE. Since I am from the CSE, I just put the some domains. So here inside the another domain, you can just find the different websites. You can Google it. You can able to find the different research domains. So based on the research domain, whenever you want to carry out the research, first thing you have to identify your domain. So for example, suppose I'm the researcher, but I don't know like the security aspects related to the any sort of security, or I'm not able to just work with the embedded system. So I'm not working inside that particular research, which I don't like. So first of all, whenever you want to start the research, first thing and most important thing is to find the research domain. So any particular MTech or PhD scholar first have to find in which research domain they are interested. So any researchers might interested in one domain, any researchers might be interested in the another domain. So how to find that particular research interest? By just searching the different research domains and subdomains, so that you can automatically get to know that these are the particular two domains in which I am comfortable for the research. So how that particular confidence is building? Based on the basic knowledge related to that domain. So suppose I am the researcher and I am not comfortable with the basics related to the networking. So in that particular case, I am not able to work inside the networking field where critical networking aspects are covered. So you have to choose the research domain where you are able to have this little bit knowledge related to that area. So this is the most first and most important thing while identifying the research domain. So in computer there are the n number of domains. In electronics there are the n number of domains. In management there are the n number of domains. In mathematical there are the n number of domains. So our task is just to find the list of the domains. And from that list you can identify one or two domains in which you feel that you can continue or carry out the research inside this particular domain. So if you have just searched the particular contents for 1 or 2 days, you can automatically able to find that these are the two areas in which I am comfortable for doing the research. So do not consider the research domain based on your supervisor interest. If you do that, you will definitely stuck with the research. So first and most important thing, and this is the first step inside the research, that is identify the research domain in which you at least know the basic things related to that research domain. So basic concepts related to the domain, you already aware related to that, and then only you can just start your research inside that domain. So these are the few examples related to the CSE. So whenever we are considering the CSE domain, then there are the 20 to 30 different domains. There are the 20 to 30 different areas in which we can able to carry out the research. These domains might be similar for the students from electronics, might similar from the student from mechanical or civil or any mathematical backgrounds where the fuzzy systems are there, whether computational tasks are required, where the mathematical problems need to solve, need to understand the different new theories and need to apply or need to able to predict the solutions, possible solutions to that particular theories. So such interdisciplinary research also might happen with the help of this particular research domain. So let's see which are the different research domain inside the CSE, which might be helpful inside your own discipline also. So it may be mechanical, it may be electronics, it may be civil, it may be arts, commerce, science, management, and so on. So you can club the particular areas you can just develop the interdisciplinary approach and you can able to just go inside that particular research field. So nowadays, we all know that AI is coming. So AI is in boom to automate the particular task. So whenever we are having the large amount of data, we can able to find the patterns from that data with the help of this AI tools. So here, whenever we consider the AI, then it will require the machine learning, deep learning, then fuzzy logic and reasoning, knowledge representation, explainable AI, then artificial general intelligence, and so on. So these are the different domains related to the subdomains related to AI. So under AI, so nowadays, whenever you want to apply for the fundings, so they are just considering the interdisciplinary approach. So for example, suppose if you are mechanical student and want to just carry out the research related to one particular machine. So within that particular machine, you can able to use the AI so that that particular task get automated and it will just save the cost, energy, and the manpower which is required to ultimately develop that particular product. So such approaches we can able to use inside the AIs. Again, second, that is we already heard, that is related to the data. So inside the data, we can able to have the data mining or discover the knowledge from the data, or we can use the different visualizations and virtualization techniques to transfer the data, to process the data, to apply or carry out the different decisions through the business for the businesses using the business intelligence. So such domains which are coming under the data science. Again, whenever we consider the different machine learning, so machine learning also having the different subdomains, that is supervised, unsupervised, then continuous learning, transfer learning, federated learning, and so on. Nowadays, inside the market, there is a agent AI. So agent AI means what? We can able to automate the specific tasks by just using the APIs. For example, suppose manually I want to pay for the 10 bills every month. So instead of I am just paying the bills manually, I can just design the one API by using the agent AI. So that particular API is responsible to just start initiation of the transaction, make the payment details, do the transactions, send the receipt to the user on the mail automatically for every month on specific date. So such automations we can able to use with this particular agent. Again, we are having the NLP. So suppose I want to just work with the specific language. So it may be English, it may be Marathi, it may be Chinese, Japanese, and so on. So from that particular language, suppose I want to just understand the contents related to language. So simple example is, suppose from the text, I want to just understand whether that particular text is related to the hate or related to the happy life. Okay. So such hate posting also we can able to continuously analyzing through the language. So for that purpose, we can use the natural language processing. So there are the number of libraries which are available inside the Python. So with that help of that particular libraries, we can able to just apply the semantics. We can extract the semantics. We can extract the emotions from that text, and we can able to understand the feelings related to that particular text. Again, we can able to have the different computer vision and image processing domains. So it is basically related to the image or video processing. So nowadays, the virtual reality and augmented reality, that is AR VR, is coming. So inside the AR VR, what happened? We are just design the 3D models, and with the help of that, we can able to actually visualize the contents. Again, we can able to analyze the different videos, medical images, and so on. Again, nowadays what happened? The cameras are coming with the AI intelligence. So whenever any uh, incidences happen, it will automatically detect that particular incidents and inform the particular cop. So for example, suppose if any car is breaking the signal, so in that particular case, it will capture that particular number of that car and it automatically send the fine to that car owner. So such intelligence we can able to perform with the help of this computer vision and image processing. Again, whenever you are just very much interested inside the security, then it might be related to the network security. It might related to your information security. It might related to your security of the financial information and so on. So again, blockchain we can use, or cryptography you can use, or different softwares we can able to develop using the secure software development and so on. So under the security domain, there are a number of subdomains. Again, we can, if we want to work with the networking, then networking might be a physical network or wireless network or the near field communication network or Bluetooth and so on. So inside that, we can able to just define the different protocols, design different load balancing algorithms. We can able to define the scheduling algorithms and so on. So a number of things we can able to perform inside that. So again, inside the network, we can able to just deal with the 5G, 6G protocols, their speeds, then what are the security aspects which can be appear inside that, and so on. Again, whenever we are working with the cloud, then we can able to just use different clouds, that is private, public, or hybrid clouds. Then how we can able to communicate within that, how we can able to manage the loads, how we can able to allocate the resource, how we can able to perform the optimization and so on. So all that particular aspects that are covered under the cloud computing. Again, the another domain, that is IoT. So inside the IoT, there might be cases related to the edge and fog computing. So if you want to just process the particular data related to the sensors on the nearby machine, then it might become under the edge and fog computing. Or suppose I want to apply the different IoT sensors inside the industry, then that comes under the industrial IoT. Or suppose I want to just perform different operations or different experiments through the devices which are attached to the patients. So it is come under the wearable device and healthcare IoT. So such things we can able to come evolve and we can able to just find the solutions in that particular domains. Again, there might be areas related to the software engineering, algorithms. So again, a new area, that is human computer interaction. So the basic good example of human computer interaction is the chip that can be just designed by the Elon Musk, which can be helpful for just transferring the whatever the thoughts of that person into the machine, so that it will very much useful to control the organs if their nerves are failed related to that particular organs. Okay, so such research that comes with this particular domains. Again, there may be a most widely used, that is robotics and automation. So here different robots are designed which can be just performed in the same way like your human, but they are not taking the breaks, they are not taking the monies and so on. So such automation of each and every process which is used inside the industry that can happen. So nowadays, the different industries, they are just applying the automations to their own companies, so that with the help of the software, they want to automate the whole workflow of the product development. Again, we can just have the embedded system. So this particular embedded systems related to the electronics field also. We can just combine the CSC electronics as well as the mechanical industry also to just form the embedded systems which are required in their own applications. So it may be a chip design, maybe the sensor integrations, or maybe design the real-time control systems. Again, whenever I want to just perform the different computations, then quantum computing is a new area where I can able to just perform the n number of operations within quick time. So their algorithms, their machine learning algorithms, their error corrections, operations inside the very large systems that can be just come under the quantum computing. Again, related to the bioinformatics and computational biology. So here, whatever the research related to the medicine, so that comes under this particular. So it will just helpful for our body. So it may be related to the drug, related to the data which just extracted through the genes. So all that particular things are DNA analysis that can be just performed under this particular bioinformation. Again, data related to the information system and databases, we can have the multiple areas where we can able to perform the research. Inside the blockchain also, so blockchain is basically very much useful in the cryptocurrency. So you might have heard that Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is the example of this particular blockchain, where the data is stored on particular one node and it will be in encrypted format and it is not easily breakable. So such cryptocurrencies that can be just appeared with the help of blockchain technology. Again, in education field also there are the number of technologies which are coming. So the technology for online tutoring or adaptive learning or learning analytics and so on. Again, inside the computational intelligence, we can have the genetic algorithms, fuzzy logic systems, neuro-fuzzy modeling, and so on. Inside the image processing, also new evolutions that are coming. So previously, we are just using the MATLAB to perform the image processing. Nowadays, that whole MATLAB systems that can be just shifted to the Python programming, because a number of huge set of the libraries which are already available for image processing. So by just writing the 4 to 5 lines, we can able to just analyze the image. So we can normalize the image, we can perform the different operations, we can extract the different textures, features from that image and so on. So on that task, we can able to perform through the image processing. Again, inside the high performance computing and parallel computing means what? Whenever we require to process the high amount of data. So for example, weather data. So weather data requires the high-end servers to process that data. And we need to quickly analyze that data. So we need to parallelize the particular task. So at a time, n number of tasks are going on, and at the end, we can able to just club that particular task. So whatever the GPU concepts which are used inside the AI server, so it is basically comes from this particular high performance and parallel computing. Again, different uh, processing related to the linguistic. So linguistic means what? Whatever the languages. So for example, whatever I speak, that can be just converted into the text. So speech to text conversion, or whatever I just talk in the English, I can automatically convert into the Marathi. So this is called as multilingual processing. So nowadays, whenever any particular person goes on the foreign tour, in that particular case, converters are used. So the person is using their own language, another person is listening in their own language. So this is called as the multilingual processing, so that no need to use the communicator between or translator in between their communication. So such automations that can be again happen. Again, we can able to use the different intelligence systems which can capture the emotions or brain computer interface and so on. So again, new technology, that is metaverse. So metaverse having the integration of the n number of different tasks. So it may be a virtual environment, it may be AR VR, it may be blockchain, it may be again combine the AI with that AR VR and so on. So a number of things we can able to combine. Again, social network analysis. It might comes with the fake news analysis or misinformation or different privacies and ethics related to the social media. Again, you can just might have the different areas related to the civil, that is green computing or sustainable development, or whenever we are coming with the mechanical, then it might come with the vehicles. So whatever the autonomous vehicles which combines the mechanical with the computer with the bridges of the electronics part. So multidisciplinary approach is necessary while finding the research domain. Again, we can able to use the AI inside the healthcare, agriculture, climate, and so on. So a number of these domains which can be available. So what is our first task for the today? First of all, after finishing this particular session, you just find the two research domain in which you are comfortable. So you can just search the different domains related to your field. So your field might be physics, your field might be maths, your field might be management, your field might be CSE, your field might be mechanical, civil, arts, commerce, science, and so on. So in each and every field, there are the number of research domains. So this is the first problem. You can just identify the research domain in which you know the little bit knowledge related to the basics of that domain. So this is the first task, that is after concluding after this particular session, you might search the different domains either on the Google or on the Gemini or on the ChatGPT. Use any tool, whichever you want, because nowadays knowledge is a widespread. So we are previously what happened? We are just searching the books and get the particular content. But nowadays, with one click only, we can able to get the specific contents related to our question. So first task, identify the domains from your field. And from that domain, identify which one or two research domain in which you are comfortable. So that from that particular domain, we can able to find the exact problem related to the research. Okay, so how these particular domains are useful to find the problems? First of all, whenever we are finding the research domain, then whenever domain is found, so for example, suppose I'm just taking the domain related to the social network analysis. So within that particular domain, next stage, that is date to content, is related to the finding the relevant paper related to your domain. Okay, so our next step is to find the literature related to your domain. And from that literature, we can able to find which problems that can be faced in that research domain. And we have to identify that problem. Once we can able to identify the problem, we can search more papers to find the possible methods which can be applied to that problem to solve it. And whenever we are getting the sufficient details, then we have to just design the object problem statement and objectives based on these particular research gaps to overcome or to fulfill that particular research gaps. And once we design the objectives and problem statements, we have to just design our framework or architecture to solve this particular or to fulfill our objectives. Okay, so these are the particular contents which are interrelated with the research domain. So unless and until you finalize the research domain, you are not able to proceed inside the research. So whenever you are starting the research, first step, you have to identify the research domain. So unless and until you are not able to identify the research domain, you are not able to proceed inside the research. So where we are stucking? We are stucking in which area we want to work. So that answers that can be just solved by just this particular approach of finding the research domain. So first of all, you have to just find the research domain in which you have the little bit knowledge related to the basics of that domain. So what are the advantages of this particular strategy? We are knowing the little bit things related to that domain so that whatever the new things or new concepts are available inside the domain, we are able to know that particular concepts at least 20 to 30%. So that we are able to linking the specific contents related to the problem and the related to the solutions. So we can able to judge whether this particular problem is of type and what type of the solutions we can able to use to solve that problem. Okay, so for defining the research problem, first step, you have to identify the research domain in which you are comfortable. Okay, so today we just stop here where our contents are related to the